Good afternoon, Mr. Jude Michael H. Turcuoato. You are the Vice President of the Philippine Badminton Association. Thank you very much for your support in hosting this tournament.
My pleasure.
And you are Mr. Melvin Nubla, Head of GTM Smart Communications Inc. Thank you very much for also supporting the Smart Badminton Asia Championships 2022. Now I have some questions that I'd like to ask both of you, and of course I'll start maybe with. Can I call you Mr. Jude?
Jude is
just Jude. Okay, yeah. You both are very young, so I'll call you Jude. So first of all, I would like to know what is the purpose. I mean, why has Philippine Badminton Association in such short time agreed to host? I mean, it's not like we announced a year ago because of the pandemic, but Philippines now, you're going through an election, right? Which is due like in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time.
2 weeks, yeah.
Very hectic time, very tense time, and yet you stood up and said, "Okay, we'll host this tournament." Can you tell us why?
Well, there are a few reasons. The first reason for us is for our players to be able to get exposure in competing against the best in the world. Our players have not had a lot of experience in traveling and competing in tournaments. So for them to qualify is very difficult. But since we are hosting, we have automatic qualifying slots because we are the host. So that was very attractive for us, for our players now to be able to see, engage themselves against the competition. And the other one is really hosting a tournament such as this creates a lot of hype and a lot of noise within the badminton community in the Philippines. So we thought it would be a great chance for us to ignite the interest for badminton and use it as a marketing tool for I guess the Philippine Badminton Association to connect with the badminton community.
But you'll be having the election, and it's very tense and very political. I think you have 8 candidates or whatever. A lot of people,
Yes.
I saw all the banners everywhere. So did you have a hard time getting permits and location, venue? Did you get that?
Well, we didn't have a difficult time in getting this venue, but I think in general, because it's such a big event, a lot of venues want to be able to host this event. So we're very lucky with this city of Muntinlupa. The local government unit with the mayor, the city mayor, was very cooperative because he really wanted the event to be held here in the Muntinlupa Sports Complex, right? So I don't think the fact that there's elections was a deterrent for us. In fact, a lot of the local governments wanted it. The main obstacle for a lot of the venues is because they're already booked because of the short time frame for us to be able to put it together, and some facilities are also still being used for quarantine facilities as well. So that was the difficulty for us. But outside of that, I think most of the venues wanted to host Badminton Asia Championships because of the prestige of the tournament.
I see. So I understand that this venue actually was used for the 2019 SEA Games, right? So many of the players who are here, remember that they played here before and are already familiar with the wind. It's really quite windy in the venue, you know. Maybe it's because I don't know whether it's because of we're near the bay or whatever, but they're quite familiar. Now, I'll come back to you again, Mr. Melvin. You know, so such short time. Well, why did you agree to sponsor this event? I mean, you did it in 2019 for the team championships, but again, you felt it was worthwhile?
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, first things first, Smart is really into sports. We support a lot of sports through the MVPSF. And one of the reasons why we support sports is because it's one of the passion points of our customers. So you have sports, you have music, you have esports, and a lot more, right? So with that in mind, we want to be an enabler for our customers, for them to really enjoy their passion. Badminton is one of it, right? And it's actually a good opportunity for us to bring it here and further expound what our customers like to win. On top of that, we also have our one of our apps. We call it the Giga Play app. This is by Smart. It allows our customers to watch content, including live sports, for free. So it serves as an added value, right? So imagine one of their passion point is sports, specifically badminton. We're gonna have BAC here. It will allow us to do a live stream for free to our customers via the Smart Giga Play app. So it's really a good opportunity for us.
I see. So, what was the benefits that you from the last tournament? I mean, the last tournament sponsorship. Did you get any benefits? Any extra? I mean, you got exposure, but what did you get from that?
I guess it's solidifies our support for the sport. Well, everybody knows that MVP, our chairman, is really into badminton. Especially this year, there's something that he wants to do a lot starting this year. And when we did the BAC last time, there were a lot of people that were happy because of it, right? But unfortunately, because of that pandemic, there were a lot of restrictions, right? So when this was brought on the table again, it's another opportunity to us to really push the badminton for not only for the Smart customers, but actually for the rest of the Filipinos, right? So from a Smart side, so we're using this for our customers, but at the same time, from the Philippines perspective, we're using this as a kickoff to further elevate or bring back badminton in the Philippines.
Okay, I understand that. So, Mr. Jude, I'd like to know: are you involved? Okay, what's your program for the to growing badminton in the Philippines? I mean.
Well, as far as the grassroots, we want to work a lot with the badminton clubs in the country. In fact, the Badminton Association, PBAD, it consists of the badminton clubs as its membership. So when we have a general membership meeting, a lot of the clubs are represented. So we want to go through their membership to find the talent and to teach the sport of badminton. And then with that, because we have now put more resources into our national team, we'd like for the team to also be more aspirational for the badminton clubs, to look for and inspire the youth to take up badminton, and maybe we can find the proper talent to turn things around and be more competitive in the world stage.
Do you have any programs that foster for the youth? Special programs for the youth encouragement?
Well, right now there's no specific programs. We just had a new board elected 2 months ago, but a lot of the programs does go through both the clubs and the universities and schools to be able to have that relationship and have a transfer of knowledge and technology from our national team coach, our assistant coaches, and along with our national team players.
Is Smart also involved in the programs? I mean, do you also direct your target towards the market? Do you target your market towards the youth also?
Yeah. So there's a lot of synergies between the Smart and the efforts of the MVPSF and PBAD. In terms of grassroots, because you do know we have more than 7,000 islands in the country, right? And Smart covers nationwide as well. So when you talk about grassroots, you don't only talk about Metro Manila. You look at different provinces as well, and Smart is there as well. So when we do this grassroots program, the local tournaments, the provincial tournaments, Smart will also be there as well to support it, right? At the same time, the market of Smart are actually the young people, the kids, right? The high schools, the college students. And this is where the potential badminton players are right now, right? So definitely from the grassroots level, we will support them into the national team and to the different international tournaments.
Okay, so that means you're both tied in really in the growth of badminton into the Philippines, which is very, very good. And I see that now that you have the Giga Play, you're also making it digital, which is actually the communication way to direct marketing your target for the youth. That's how they communicate, right, through digital. And I like to know, Which province in the Philippines is the most popular province for badminton?
I think currently it's really the National Capital Region where a lot of the clubs are and a lot of the exposure is. And I think a lot of the universities within Metro Manila, the National Capital Region, also have badminton as one of the sports that they support, right? So and most of the time we really would need to go to the province, each of the provinces, north, middle, and south, yeah, to find. But the development actually sometimes is when we ask them to move to Manila to be able to be with the national team as well and to see what kind of instruction or technology can be taught so that they can improve as well. Instead of the coaches spending too much time in the province, we just try to get the best players to go into one central location to be able to develop and improve their skills.
So do you have a center of excellence?
Yes, so currently, again, in the last, only within the last few months, we are actually building a new badminton facility, and we will call it the Center for Sports Excellence. And badminton will be the first sport that we will be doing it. Currently, our national team is training in that area, and that's the goal and the target for us to be able to do that and train every day. Right now, we train twice per day. And our national team is situated in that Center for Sports Excellence.
I see. 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, badminton was very popular in the Philippines, right? You had this rock star players, like they were like rock stars. What happened? What happened to the decline of popularity here?
Probably many reasons. I can't tell you, I'm correct or I'm not correct. I think the rise of other sports. I think that happened also when other sports became popular. I think volleyball all of a sudden became popular within the country, so it overtook badminton. Boxing became popular because of Manny Pacquiao and a lot of the boxers going well. So I think for me, the main reason why badminton probably didn't sustain the momentum is that we were not able to develop the international world-class players that would be aspirational for the youth to want to become identify and become badminton players as well. So we had some players who were very good and got to a certain level, but it was not followed up with a good program with more players and younger players that would now take on that role, right? So that's what we are now going to try to do is, we realize that we are not at the level where we need to be to have Olympic qualifiers, to have the world champions. But in order for us to do that, we need to know what that gap is, and we need to encourage the youth to take it up and develop those skills. So I think that might be one of the main reasons that there's no main badminton player that they can relate with and associate with after. Because I think we had the Asuncion siblings back then.
They're very good looking, very popular. They're like rock stars.
So there was no replacement when they started getting above the age of competition.
Yes, so there was the development or the regulation was somehow stagnant. So there's decline. So now you're trying to build the popularity of badminton again. So do you think we'll succeed, Mr. Melvin?
Well, we have a new board right now, and we have a new set of officials under the PBAD. I actually played badminton as well, and I started playing when that started about, I think it's not 10 years ago. I think it was 20 years ago.
Really?
Because I started playing 2001, 2002, and that's when the badminton courts were like mushrooms, that they were sprouting from one location to another, right? And there were several tournaments happening, corporate tournaments, local tournaments. But that's what Jude said it lacked the international exposure. At some point, there were not much tournaments anymore. So I guess we kind of have an idea already what we need to improve on. And coming from this BAC, we should be able, hopefully we would be able to successfully make the sport popular again, and hopefully in the next 2-3 years have a Filipino player to be part of the at least top 100, or maybe participate in the in the next Super 1000 again, right?
Oh, aiming to that. So okay, now let's get back to the tournament that has started yesterday. Okay, who are your Filipino players that you're betting, you're hoping for the best?
Well, on my end, I think our singles women's player, Mika de Guzman.
Yeah, Mika.
I think she has a lot of potential. Her skills are there. I think a lot of the conditioning just needs a little bit of work and experience. I think the experience of how to push through adversity and difficulties, because her performance is good, but not for the whole match, right? She has good spurts as well. Yeah, and then the other one is Jude Albo, because he's young. He's only 19 years old, and he has the height. So I think when you're young and you're a teenager, you have a lot more room to improve, and you can be taught, right? So those two, and Mika also is only 20 years old. So both are relatively young. These two of the youngest members of our team. So hopefully, when Melvin says 2, 3, 4 years down the line, that's when they're at their prime. So we still have 2-3 years to train them, and hopefully they can improve significantly.
And to develop another generation of Mika and Jewel.
Yes,
right?
that's right.
So
That's
it
right.
has to be always.
Yeah, because once they become successful, more and more kids will want to be like that, right? So I think that's what's been missing in the last 10-15 years, is that there's no person or player that is aspirational. I want to be that girl, or I want to be so and so, right? And once they start having that mindset, they'll start being more serious and more passionate to improve.
Any Olympic targets?
Well, we're hoping. Actually, I talked to our new national coach, Coach Rosman Razak. He is hoping that we would have a qualifier for Paris. It's going to be a lot of work, between now and 2024. But it's really just a matter of figuring out where we can get the points and which tournaments we can participate, and identifying 1 or 2 players. Maybe it's Mika, maybe it's Jewel, maybe it's Ross, but
just to get them in there.
Yeah, so
really
just one player, right? We figure that out, we identify, and then we go and participate in all the tournaments, and maybe we can get enough points. And if that happens, then it's a big story for us to have an Olympic qualifier.
That's already, to be in there is already very, very good, and then we'll give boost to the younger generation.
And then we can talk about 2028.
Yeah, right? Then you can talk about that. And another.
Yeah, that's 6 years from now, right?
Yeah, 6 years from now.
Yeah, so I think that it would have to be that long term, our mindset, and with the program. So,
who are your favorite players? Okay, outside of the Filipinos, who are your favorite players?
Well, I'm not a huge badminton player, but from many years ago, Taufik Hidayat was my favorite. But now, his fellow Indonesian Ginting is also somebody that I enjoy watching.
And Mr. Melvin?
Well, Christy is one of them, who's playing right now, right? Christy is one of them. Key of Japan, the ladies doubles of Japan, that pair. They have a lot of potential. They look very young, which is makes the sport more popular. You have Watanabe as well, right?
Who won last night?
Who won last night? I mean, for his build.
Yeah, he's short.
Right?
Yeah.
He's short, very thin, but the way he moves, the way he flies, so great. Yeah, so those three.
Yeah, he thought it was amazing last night. Yeah, he just went through. So, what's your hopes and plans now for the future of the badminton in the Philippines? I mean, I know basketball is very, very high, very popular. So, where is it now? Like I said, scale to 1 to 10?
I think scale of 1 to 10, we're probably a little bit below average, maybe 4.
Oh.
As far as our popularity, as far as our world rankings and competition, we're very, there's a lot of room to improve. So that's the silver lining of being a 4. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a lot of room for improvement, right? So we have to look at all of the aspects, how to create a good grassroots program, how to improve our elite athletes, and how to get the points to qualify for the world class competition.
So it's the 10 is being basketball, okay, the most popular sports. So basketball or soccer here?
Basketball.
Basketball.
It's basketball.
Okay, basketball. So you're 4 against basketball.
Yes, we're 4. Yeah, I think there's actually not that many sports in between 4 and 10. There's probably boxing and volleyball, maybe. Billiards is actually even losing some of its luster, but we're probably in similar level as football.
Oh really? Not that popular here.
Football not that popular here either.
Oh, in other countries, football is always
Correct.
number 1.
All over the world. But I think one of the difference between football and badminton, here there are actually a lot more badminton courts here in the country, especially in the provinces, compared to football, right? And if you go outside the Metro Manila, there's actually a lot of good players there. So even if we're around 4 out of 10 compared to basketball, I think there is a huge potential for us to immediately bring it up to 6, 7, probably 9 or 10 in the next couple of years.
I think when you talked about 10 years ago, I think we were in that area, around 7, 8, because we were able to bring it up. So it's gone down a bit, so we want to get it step by step.
It's really very good to know that how much you're so passionate about developing badminton in the Philippines. It's good for us, it's good for Filipinos also, and it's good for the badminton community. We want Philippines to be a major player also in the badminton world, and people are now, all Asia are watching Philippines now, and you've been a very good host to this tournament. We hope that one day we come back here again, you will be willing to host us again, and Mr. Melvin here will support us again. And he will support again. You support us before and support us now again. So thank you very much for this, and we hope all the best for Philippine Badminton Association and also to Smart. Don't forget us, Badminton Asia, and I hope you continue doing more tournaments in your country. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you also.
Good luck to Badminton Asia as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.